Hey guys, J&M here. Some of you wanted me to explain a little bit about nodes in Armory 3D, and I will do this here using the tanks example project. You can download it from the Armory 3D GitHub. I added a link to the description, and here you can see the folder of the Armory tutorials, and I will open tanks nodes. As you can see, the project doesn't contain any scripts because the game is implemented using logic nodes. It is a game for 2 players. You have a blue and a red tank, player 1 and player 2, and the tanks can be controlled using the keyboard or a gamepad. I press play now to start the game, and here we go. So you can see we have a few primitives that are rotating and moving, and the goal for one tank is to shoot the other one off the platform. Now I reached the other tank and press F to fire, and finally shoot him off this game field. Okay, so let's have a look at the project. First of all, the animations. These blue objects are animated, you can see this here in the timeline. And these are simple animations, but they have an effect on the tanks because these objects have physics attached. This means we have rigid bodies and colliders. Let's open the physics tab. And you can see for this cylinder a rigid body is attached and a cylinder collision shape. And for the tanks it's the same. I have a rigid body attached and a box collider. So we don't have to implement a game logic for these collisions. They are handled by the physics engine. Okay, now let's come to the nodes which are actually used to implement the game logic. And I have the second player, the blue tank, selected. And in the Objects tab, you can see that there are 2 node setups assigned, a tank tree, and the other one is named Player 2 Controls. To see this setup, I open a new window and then select the Logic Node Editor. In this I open the Player 2 Controls, and we have a couple of nodes here to react on gamepad or keyboard input. So when on the keyboard a certain key like WASD is pressed, or we have a gamepad input like left, right, up or down, then we are sending events. We have the node send event, and we can name these events as we like. For instance, forward, backward, turn left, turn right. And then we are able to react when these events are fired. So let's open the tank tree node setup. And here we have on event nodes in which we are notified when certain events occur. For example, the turn left. Then we know that we have to rotate the object, and as input for this rotate action, we use a vector that has a Z value of 0.03. This means we are rotating the tank around the Z axis with this value. And when the event is forward or backward, the node translate object is used to move the tank in the direction of the look vector. Okay, now let's have a look at the player fire node setup, which is very simple. We have an input node on the keyboard for the F key, or a cross or A input for the gamepad. And then again an event is sent which is called fire. This node setup isn't attached to the tank directly, it is attached to a child object. And this is an empty object that you can see here which is called tank2 fire. As I said, the fire event is sent. And again we want to react on this and fire the bullet. And this is done in the logic node setup fire tree. So let's open it. It looks really complicated, but it isn't. What is done basically is to spawn an object called bullet that is located in the scene. And this is just a yellow sphere that we instantiate by using the spawn object node. For this new object we set the location, which is the location of the object to which this node setup is assigned. This is the empty object called tank2 fire, and then the apply impulse node is used to fire the bullet. Okay, after that the sleep node comes into play, so that after 2 seconds the instantiated bullet object is removed, just to save resources. To remove it, you can use the node remove object. And this is basically what is done in the hex scripts as well, but in this example we are using nodes. So is this programming? Well, my opinion is, yes it is. It is just visual programming. So use the method that you like most. I'm more a coder than a visual programmer, but it's up to you. So guys, if you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe. If you want to support me, I have a Patreon that is linked here. And please add your wishes, ideas or suggestions to the comments below. Thanks a lot guys for watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.